driven a Lotus?
Have you ever driven a Lotus?
Have you ever driven a Mercedes before?
Have you ever seen?
Have you ever driven a Lotus?
Have you ever driven a Lotus?
Have you ever driven
Have you ever driven Mercedes before?
a Mercedes before?
Have you ever seen
Have you ever seen this guy before?
this guy before?
Have you ever
Have you ever seen this guy before?
seen this guy before?
Have you ever seen
Have you ever seen this guy?
Have you ever seen this guy?
Have you ever been to New York
Have you ever been to New York before?
before?
Have you ever been to
Have you ever been to New York?
New York?
Have you ever been to New York?
Have you ever been to New York?
Has he ever told you
Has he ever told you about his friend Frank?
about his friend Frank?
Has he ever
Has he ever told you anything about that?
told you anything about that? Has she ever spoken to you about her family?
Has he ever spoken to you about her family?
Have you ever flown a
Have you ever flown a kite?
kite?
Have you ever flown before?
Have I ever forgotten?
Have I ever forgotten?
Have we ever forgotten?
Have we ever forgotten to
Thank you.
Margaret has never been to France, so I thought I'd take her for her birthday.
French teacher has never been
The French teacher has never been to France.
to France.
Baby, he's never met me. That he has never met or even spoken with you.
I have never hidden who
I have never hidden who I am.
I have never hidden that
I have never hidden that
or fought it.
or fought it.
I have never hidden
I have never hidden behind closed doors.
closed doors.
I have never
I have never stolen a thing in my life.
stolen a thing in my life, okay?
I've never stolen a thing in my
I've never stolen a thing in my life.
I've never ridden
I've never ridden an elephant in
in
my
my
life.
life.
I've never ridden
I've never ridden a bus.
bus.
I've only been to Italy once,
Italy once. They didn't look very subtle to me.
and they didn't look very subtle to me. I've met you once before.
Met you once before.
Not even my mom has read it
Not even my mom has read it
twice.
I've actually read it
I've actually read it twice.
twice.
But you've written
But you've read it twice.
it twice. We barely met
We've barely met twice.
twice. I've seen you
I've seen you a few times around the neighborhood. And are you nervous?
I've seen you a few times.
I've seen you a few times. I've done it many times. Yes, I've done it many times myself.
I've done it many times myself.
I've broken my heart so many times I stopped keeping quiet.
He said he's sorry.
He said he's sorry like 100 times.
Like 100 times.
Seen it 100 times.
I've seen it 100 times.
seen you a few
I've seen you a few times around the neighborhood.
times around the neighborhood.
And are you nervous?
He used my toilet 1,000 times.
He used my toilet 1,000 times.
We've seen this 1,000
We've seen this 1,000 times before.
times before.
Finest thing I have
The finest thing I have ever made.
ever made.
Hiring you
Hiring you
was the
was the worst
mistake I have ever
I have never made.
made.
This is by far the coolest thing
This is by far the coolest thing you have ever done.
you have ever done.
That is all I have ever wanted. Is it only my job I have ever wanted?
Only job I have ever wanted.
Because this is the happiest I've
Because this is the happiest I have ever seen you.
ever seen you.
You are the most stubborn
You are the most stubborn person I have ever met in
Person
my
I
life.
have ever met in my life.
You are the rudest
You are the rudest person I have ever met.
person I have ever met.
You were the strangest
You are the strangest boy I have ever met.
I have ever met.
How many times has she
How many times has she said that?
Wait, how many times
Wait, how many times has she been married?
has she been married?
How many times has she done this? How many times has she done this?
How many times?
How many times have we talked about this?
Many times have
How many times have we been there?
How many
How many times have we been here before, Scully?
times have we been here before, Scully?
How many times have we saw?
How many times have we slept together?
How many times
How many times have you been shot?
have you been shot?
How many
How many times have you been arrested?
have you been
Where you been arrested?
How many times have you been inside now?
How many times have you
How many times have you tried to get out?
tried to get out?